everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany and this is a channel all about cross stitch. Please like and subscribe down below so that way this content can reach more people that also enjoy cross stitching stuff. It has been a horrible month for me. I did not get many stitches done, and in fact I'm just now remembering that I didn't total up my stitches that I've done for the month. So we might have to do that on the fly here. We will see. Like usual, I will go through my whips first, and then plans, and then any haul I have, and then life update. So that way those who only want to be here for cross stitching stuff can just watch that. Those who want to see about the plans for the next month can also continue to watch that. Those who want to watch haul can watch haul, and anybody who's interested in life update can stick around for that. So let's get into it. I'm going to open up my big book, and there are a lot of zeros on here. Usually, like if I go to like a typical month here, yep, this would be a typical month. If you look, there are maybe like, there's what? Where's my finger at? Right there. One day out of the entire month where it is 0 versus where this month there are zeros everywhere. And I mean everywhere. It's just been a rough month. So I've got so much stuff over here that I'm trying to give myself some room. But okay, let's go through our whips here. I just pick one and go with it, right? All right, this is, I don't know if I have a picture of this one or not. This is by Dimensions, just a regular Dimensions kit. It's called In Harmony, and it's stitched with everything kit. 14 count, navy blue Ada. I mean, nothing spectacular or anything. Oh, am I going to be able to get that back in there? Let me see. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay. And, this is where you saw it last time. And this is where it is now. I got a lot of, it would have been in here. I don't know how much of in there that I got done, but quite a bit of it. You know what I did? Not sure how. Somehow I found a needle on my floor, which is really, really odd. But I set you guys back too far, so I'm going to move you guys forward here and hopefully keep everyone still in frame, because who doesn't want to see this pretty face, right? At least I'm doing better today. Anyways, there we go. Now we can see her. I might have gotten you guys too close. Hold on. Good enough. Although you can see all my mess over here, but oh well, I'm human. Yeah, so that's how far I got on that, and it got 2,838 stitches this month. It's been a bit of a struggle for me to do anything much. It's just been crazy. Okay, well, we'll go through this one next, because this one I need you guys' opinion on. Okay, this is Fairytale Village. All right, this is what you guys usually see. Well, here's what it'll look like when it's finished. And here's where the last time you guys saw it. But all I've done is back stitching on this. And I think it looks okay. But my problem is can you really tell that this little dude sitting down here, where is he? Right here. Can you really tell that that's a dude sitting on a bench reading a newspaper? Or does it look like like a blob to you guys. Because I was stitching on this and doing like a lot of the back stitch. If we get up close, like I almost have this whole house completely back stitched now, of things that needed to be back stitched. But I just feel like maybe I stitched this on too small of a count, and I'm losing some things to distinguish what they are. But like I look at it like through like the camera on my viewfinder, and it looks fine. Maybe it's just I'm looking at it too close. Maybe, I don't know. But, so all I did was back stitching on that. So there's none of that. But then I got out a piece of 18 count Aida and started going through and doing all the half crosses on this, thinking that I might scrap that, which is crazy because there's quite a bit done on that. But the more and more I think about it, and that I look at this from a distance, my husband said it looked all right, but I just didn't believe him. I think it's going to be okay if I just leave it on this. I really do, now that, you know, I look at it from much further away. But anyways, what do you guys think? Do we continue on with restarting it and doing it on 18 count, or do we just keep going with this and finishing it out? I'm so undecided. And I can't decide. So, help me out here. And let me know what you guys' opinions are. Alright. I did stitch on you. This is Long Dong Samplers Pavillon for These Times. Here's what it'll look like when it's finished. And here's where it was the last time you saw it. And here it is now. And what? I stitched 1,076 stitches. So, like, not a massive amount is on here. And this is done on 28 count? Nope. 25 count. 25 count 1/1. So, that's the wrong way. But I think I was stitching in here. Like this motif here. I think that's what the guy was getting done. Because I think if I finish that, then I get, it'll be like a page finish or something. But anyways, that's what I did on that one. And then you're just the bag of, like, I don't know if I've ever showed you guys this. This is the floss for Fairytale Village. There's so much floss for it. But yeah, this is just the bag that holds the floss for that project. And then the next one is Aquila, Queen of the Skies. This is the one that I wanted. I'm not sure how that's a thing. Where is this attached to? I have a beading needle here with beading thread attached to it. Just set that under there. Anyways, this is Aquila, Queen of the Skies. This is what she'll look like when she is finished. And here is a picture of the last time you guys saw her. And here she is now. I got 2,312 stitches in her. And I think I completed some of this down here and over here. Well, you guys would know better because you guys just saw what where it was the last time you guys saw it. And she is stitched on 28 count, 2/2, skin done 1/1. And I hand dyed this fabric myself. So she's coming along. This would be page, there's only 3 more pages left. And or maybe it's just 2 and I cut this, I don't remember now. I don't remember. It's been a difficult month for me, suffering from my migraines, and unfortunately they have been a bear this year. But yes, 2,312 stitches went into this one. And then last one I stitched, and I didn't add those up either. I'm going to be doing this month because well, no, I might put this up today just because I've worked on it for quite a few more days than I needed to. But anyways, all those other projects, I worked on them for 5 days. We moved my mother-in-law into the house that we remodeled for her. Well, we bought for her and remodeled for her. And she's going to be 71 in May. 71 in May. So she has accumulated a lot of things in 71 years of life. And the house that she's moving into is smaller. No. Sorry. The door just shut and these guys just went to go and bark. We got them to stop. Anyways, so with that large amount of things, she's wanting to go through it. She's also, at the same time, she was willed all the contents of her parents' house. So it's not even just her stuff, it's also her parents' stuff. And what Pop died when he was 93, and Graham passed when she was, I think she would have been 90 that year. So also going through, each one of their 90 some years of things as well. And we've been going through the process of emptying out stuff that she for sure wants to keep, and then holding on to the boxes and placing things in boxes for, like, this is actually supposed to go to this specific person because it was Pop-Up's or Graham's or something like that. Or she has too many things and of the same item. So finding out who in the family actually needs those things and sending them to those people and stuff like that. Or things that nobody else wants, but are still in really good condition. So she's just going to have a giant yard sale this year. So things that are going to, like, yard sale, we're putting them all in boxes that we've already pulled out the stuff that she's going to keep in, empty boxes that are sitting around. So kind of repurposing those for right now, and then writing large yard sale on it, and then putting it into, she has a room specifically that she's just using for storage down there. And going through and slowly organizing everything. What else? So, like, most of my time's been, I'm also spring cleaning for Grandma Joanne, so that takes up a lot of my time. But anyways, that's more into life update that I wanted to get, because I'm sure most of you guys don't want to hear that. The last thing that I've been stitching on this month is Bella Filipina, Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile. And this is where I've gotten on her. Can't really see very good through here. This is the very top right-hand side of the chart. So I've made my way up there so that way I can complete the top half and then, so on and so forth, and start going down on her. I've put into her 3,030 stitches. And I don't think I did this is what she'll look like at, when she's finished. And here's a picture of where you saw her last time. And I'll hold this up again just for good measure so that way you guys can see her. She is stitched on 28 count, hand dyed by me. 2/2, except for skin, of course, is done 1/1. Everything in this section here is complete. This, section right from here all the way over. It's all backstitched. It's all beaded. It's all good to go. So we are just continuing on with that. But I think I'm going to put this away today because I'm going to be participating in Mirror May. Now, let me add up real quick how many stitches I've done all month long. Somebody is out back. Of my house for some reason. So far this month, I've stitched 9,256 stitches, which normally in a month, let's see, I get about 22,000 stitches. So, you know, we're 11,000 short, but I've been so busy, it's not even funny. And then I haven't, today's April 29th, so there's still technically 2 more days of April, but I've stitched on, it's the 5, 6, 7, 8 days on Cleopatra because I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere with anything that I was stitching on. Usually I make like really good progress in those 5 days, but because, I mean, there were how many days this month that I didn't stitch? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days that I didn't stitch, and then if I did, there's some days where like I've got like 67 stitches for the whole entire day, or 65. It looks like on there's quite a few days in here that only have like 60 because I've been so busy. As for plans next month, it is May, and I think this year I'm gonna do some Mirror May. But I have a bunch of mirrors. Hold on, let me close out of all this so that way I can keep myself on track because I won't. I have a bunch of them already kitted up, and then there's 2 that I bought this month that I really, really, really want to start because I looked up the conversion for Baker's Wife, just into blue, and somebody had done it, and it was on Mirabilia Full Coverage. No, Mirabilia Full Conversion Facebook group, and I found it, and I don't know, I can't remember the person's name right now. I'll have to write it down, but they have a conversion of it. But there's also Duchess of Rowan, and those 2 sort of go together, and I think I can use the same conversion for the Baker's Wife with that one and make it work. So I plan on doing that, and because the Duchess of Rowan, she has she's got like more stuff going on around her, like with like butterflies and things like that. But I'm just gonna finagle it and whatever, and I can wing it with the butterflies and just throw in whatever blues are there and such. But I have a bunch of that stuff, and I think I want to do that. But I don't want to commit myself to doing anything because, like, I noticed, like, last month, especially because I didn't have a lot of time, I felt like because I told you guys, I'm a weird person. If I say I'm going to do something, like, I do it. It's just part of who I am. And this month, I don't want to make any concrete plans on exactly what I want to do this month. So it might just be that I start a bunch of Mirabilias this month. It might be that I pull out Mirabilias that I'm already working on and just work on those. It could be that, I start a couple and work on some of the ones that I have. I have no idea. But I will only stitch Mirabilias this month, and of course I have a ton of them. But it is what it is. We're going to move on to haul now. So, what was it? The month of March, I went on a buying freeze, and then I kind of completely and utterly overcompensated for not buying anything in March and April. And I'm going to try and, limit myself to, only buying things that I absolutely have to have. or that I'm really in love with, and not something that's like, oh, that's like, I might stitch that someday, so let's grab it kind of thing. But anyways, these are the patterns I bought this month. So I got Winter White Santa, and I got his Karen Water Lilies that go with it, and the Whisper Threads that go with it. I haven't picked up any of the treasures or the beads yet, or the Krennic. And I don't know. I might get it. I might not. I don't know. And then I also picked up Miss Cherry Blossom by Nora Corbett, Mirabilia. I don't know when. I didn't buy anything else with her. I don't know when I'll stitch her or what's going on, but I just wanted to have her chart. And then here's the Baker's Wife that I was talking about. And I think the only thing that's different is a lot of like the Krennic and stuff that they used was gold. And I don't have much gold in, for the blue conversion, they used like gold. But I don't have any gold in my living room. It's all nickel. So I think I'm going to switch that out for nickel, because these two I want in my living room. And my living room is done in blues and whites and nickel. So I want it to fit. And I also got the Duchess of Rowan. And we're going to do that. And then I need my traveling kit. I feel like, well, I can show you guys. Okay. So, I'm going to try these out because I love opalescent fabric, but it doesn't, I dye all my fabric on my own. So I bought some, it's glitter dust specifically for fabric, so we're going to try it. This one is iridescent, this one is gold, and this one is silver. So I might on Baker's Wife and Duchess of Rowan, because I'm just stitching those guys on just plain white fabric. It'll be 28 count, and I might just throw on like a spritz of that and see how well it holds up and stuff, because it's not being gifted to anybody or anything. And what I'm probably gonna do is test it on a small piece of fabric and let it like sit out in the sun, make sure it's really dry, and like bend it, move it around, and make sure that stuff's not gonna flake off. Alright, more for haul. I'm trying to remember everything that I got this month. I know most of it's in here. Those are my scissors. Yeah, when I go, when I'm doing travel stitching, I guess, when I take my kids down to the park, well, not even really my kids, my nephew. When I take him down to the park, I use a lanyard for my scissors, because my brain went poop instead of that. That's my favorite thing about these. They all just snap back where I want them. And they're always where I need them. I don't have to keep track of them. Okay. Now, Lowry came out with small stitching stands. And I gotta make sure, yep, that's the right one. Okay. So, I will put it together real quick for you, because this stuff is so simple, it's not even funny. But, so, like I said, I travel for stitching all the dang time. So, this is going to make my life easier. I had the Kay's Creation lap stand, but my problem has always been that a lot of my scroll frames won't fit in that, because the clamp doesn't open wide enough. So I went ahead and bought this guy, and I had to buy this base plate and a second clamp. And then so I can go stitching. But this is the medium size one. I can stick it underneath my legs here. And it's the sit-on frame. So I can sit here and stitch and do my stuff while my kids are playing. And it's the same one that I have at home, so it all feels familiar to me, because that was another issue I had whenever I did any sort of travel stitching with that craze. It wasn't exactly the same as my Lowry at home, so like it took, like I could never get used to it because I didn't stitch long enough when we were out. You know, we're usually at the playground for maybe 3 hours and then we're going home. So it's not long enough, and then, you know, we might not go back for, you know, a week, 2 weeks, depending on what the weather's like. So it doesn't, wasn't always my favorite. But before I saw that, I ended up buying the table clamp for Lowry, because at our parks we have a lot of tables, but like picnic tables and stuff, but they sit a decent distance away from where the children are actually playing. So I didn't like the idea, because Vincent's only 3, I didn't like the idea of me sitting, it's probably about 10-15 yards away from where the play stuff already like starts. And I didn't know that Lowry came out with I think they're called the little stands. I can't remember now. But so I bought one of these and then realized that they had the miniature stands. Then that one's the medium size, so it's meant to be the sit-on frame. Or you can get the small version that's meant to be like a lap stand. But I figure with the big giant scroll frames and stuff that I would be using, it's smarter to just go with the sit-on one, so that way I have my weight as a counterbalance to my stitching instead of worrying about it tipping left and right. But yeah, so once I saw that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy that too. But this can be useful for like if Vincent and them wants to play outside here at my house, this would be useful for here at my house, because I have tables and stuff here that I can clamp this on and stitch outside still, while they're all being entertained, instead of me running around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to figure out something to do while I'm outside. I mean, I keep up with my flower beds and stuff, so it's not like I have hours upon hours every single week of weeding to do. And plus we stick, it's mulch, but it has like a weed killer in it that doesn't harm any sort of flowers, and like every time it rains it releases more of it, so it keeps it so that way I don't have to do a lot of weeding in my flower beds, if you understand what I mean. Like we didn't use it one year and I was out there every couple days pulling out weeds, and I told my husband, never again will I do this, because this is a nightmare and I'm not doing it anymore. So we make sure we use that particular kind every single year, and all my flowers come back every single year. They're always really healthy and fine, so whatever one they're using, it works perfectly. And I prefer it that way, because then it's kept close to the ground and it's not near any of the flowers or anything. So if any bees or insects or things like that come over and snack on the flowers or things like that, I don't have to worry about them getting pesticides or anything, because everything is kept on the ground. It doesn't ever touch the actual plant itself. So 2 birds, 1 stone. But yeah, I could use this outside while I'm stitching if I'm lucky, depending on, well, Vincent's 3 now and he's fully potty trained. We got him potty trained, but like, we will see. And then I was like, well, now I need a light. So I found this one, and it's off right now. Turn it on. Rechargeable light. And I really like that I can, you know, if I need to, I can send it out like that. Or if I need to focus it in one area, I can do that. And then like this just bends and holds in whatever position I want it to be in. So I feel like that's a pretty good option. So I bought this. And then because I bought the tablet last month because I just couldn't use my husband's anymore. Or, you know, using my phone or whatever. I was like, I need a stand that attaches onto a light pole here to stick my tablet to. So I bought this doodad. And it pretty much goes like, I mean, it spins the whole way around. This goes this way and that way, and it, you know, this attaches however it works. I've tried it. It does what I need it to. So I also got this guy so I can attach my phone to it because my phone fits in here. And I can also set it up just like I do with my Lowry stand at home. So that way that's not bugging me. I don't think there's anything else in here. That's everything I bought. I'm sure you guys want to see that. Now I'm going to put all this stuff away. And then I will see you guys in a few minutes. Well, it'll be a few minutes for me. A couple seconds for you guys. So I don't have all this stuff all over the place because it'll drive me insane. And so I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, I'm back. And I need this because this is where I've been writing down notes and stuff. So, this month has been excruciating for me. I've had 6 days all month long where I do not have a migraine this year. And it's not usually that bad for me, but our weather here has been absolutely ridiculous. It is 82 degrees today. 2 days ago, it was 48 degrees. And our weather is doing a lot of that, where it's really cold, and then like within, like there's no like gradually getting to it. It's just flip-flopping from here's summer, here's, you know, early freaking winter. And unfortunately for me, barometric pressure is what causes my migraines. And then on top of that, we've had a bunch of low pressure systems bringing a crap ton of rain here. And I mean a crap ton. So much it's not even funny that we've had major flooding in a lot of places. We've had a landslide happen. I live in the next town over. I wouldn't even... Yeah, it's a town. Like, this is my town, and then literally, I mean, it takes you 10 minutes to get there. The next town over, there is a very large dam that was built forever ago. And to put it, to describe how much excessive rain we've got, that dam, the emergency spillways for it, the water is actually already above those, so those are gushing out water. They actually have, I forget how many valves there are right now, but there's quite a few different valves that they can open up to help release more of the water. They already had 3 of them open. I think there's a total of 12 or something like that. But they already had 3 of them open, trying to release water, so that way it didn't reach the emergency spillways for that dam. But it did, and it's over top of those. During the summertime, it's a lake, so people like to go there, and like they go boating, and like there's a small little beach there for you to go swimming on, swimming and things like that. And there's what's called the bathhouse, where it has like bathrooms and changing rooms and things like that. Well, you can't see that. And at all. It's underneath water. There's lots of like really old giant oak and pine trees and maple trees and all kinds of trees down around that beach part of it too. You can't even see the tops of the trees. And like these aren't small trees, these are large trees. You cannot even see the tops of those trees. I was really worried about the house that we renovated for my mother-in-law, because it literally sits right next to that river. This river has been high now for a month and a half, and it's still high because they are, we get rain again tomorrow, but the last time it rained would have been Thursday. So we've had a couple days without it raining. So they've opened up more of the spillways for that dam, but kept it at safe levels. Like we literally have people monitoring the low points of the river, so that way it doesn't come up and over onto the roads right now, because it was doing that before they released any of the valves or the extra valves or anything. And so it's just kind of been a nightmare in that sense. But because she lives so close to the river, I was like, oh no, don't tell me that like gosh darn basement is gonna flood. And like we got really lucky. We went down there and we saw, and like the worst that happened was my husband forgot to hook up the sump pumps. There's 2 sump pumps down there, and we checked all around, and there was a little bit of water in the basement, not a whole lot, nothing that it was touching anything that, you know, or harming anything that was brand new that we stuck in there or anything like that. It was just a little bit on the I think it was like 6 inches or so on the floor. But we made sure when we installed everything, we installed it from the I want to call them rafters, but they're not rafters. But we installed it from the ceiling of the basement down, so that way it was definitely all up and off the floor. So that way, if any water would get in there, it wouldn't hit those appliances immediately if they were sitting on the floor, if you did do it that way. But we noticed that there's no leakage around the actual foundation. It's coming up through the floor, through the concrete floor in the basement. And there's really no way to stop that, because the house is literally sitting right next to the river, and it's a common problem with a lot of the houses that live along the street. Actually, most of the houses along the street, the foundation isn't even that good. It's coming through on the foundations. But thankfully for this particular house, that's not an issue. It's just coming up through the floor. But so we fixed that, and then what else happened? So the day before we moved my mother-in-law Sue in to her new house, remember how I said, I should have bit my tongue. Remember how I said, like, the furnace is brand new, we shouldn't have a problem with it, da 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 da. We ended up having a problem with it. Rats. It's one of the newer furnaces. It has like 2 motherboards on it and things like that. Rats. Before we were able to completely, that was one of the first things we installed in that house, was a new furnace. So before we ended up getting rid of all the rats out of that house, went inside the furnace and chewed through a bunch of the wires for the furnace. And we didn't even think to check about it, because when we installed that furnace there, we thought we had already gotten rid of all of the rats because we didn't notice anything else. But I will say it definitely is rat-free now. And probably was shortly after we installed that darn furnace. But it was enough that one of them or more of them got in there and they chewed up the wires. And we didn't know. So when the power was turned on and my husband fired up the furnace, it just shorted everything out. And it killed both motherboards on there. And you're looking at about a $1,500 fix to replace those motherboards, as well as, well, that should include paying the furnace tech and everything else to come out and do it. Because although my husband does have, I think it's Furnace Tech 1 experience, he doesn't have that level of furnace experience. And he didn't go to school for that level of education for that. So we didn't have much of a choice but to pull. So we had to take off the basement door and the closet door, and then we had to pull the furnace completely out and buy another brand new furnace and put down there. And so while his brothers and stuff were moving her stuff down, we spent the day hooking up the new furnace. And I mean, we got it all done. By the end of the day, we were finished, and we had already spent moving her for 2 days. And then she got the fuel oil delivered, and then we went to go and fire up the furnace, and this over here is jiggling, and it's sending a little bit of light, like, in my face. And sure enough, it didn't fire. So we spent the third day of the everybody helping move her, fixing the furnace, so that way she had heat that night. Because, again, like I said, we're still getting frost. There's some days that you'll wake up and there's a dusting of snow. Other days it's sweltering hot out and you don't need anything. It's just a whirlwind of a mess. So pretty much she was completely and utterly moved in there on the 8th of April of this month. So she was completely moved in there. We got all of her stuff down there and things like that. And we started, I've been going down almost every single day and helping her sort through all of her things, because, like I mentioned earlier, some of it is her things, some of it is Pop-Pop things, some of it's Graham's things. So it's accumulation of 3 people's stuff, and she moved into a smaller house. That house is not as big as what she originally had. So I was going down every single day, moving her furniture, putting her furniture where it goes, helping her put stuff that she is keeping away and where it goes, so she doesn't trip or fall. I do have a picture of the banister that we put in, but when we originally installed it in, I didn't like it. It didn't, the color wasn't exactly what the guy wanted, so I changed the color of it, and you guys will see that. But, here's a picture of that banister that it was put in that you guys have never, that was literally one of the last things we had to do for the house, was put that in. But here it is, so you guys can see it. So I've just been, putting everything away. I've got the living room done, I've got the dining room done, I've got the kitchen done, I've got the bathroom done, I've got her bedroom done, and the second biggest bedroom, she's using that as a spare bedroom. But we all now call it Lydia, which is my daughter's name's bedroom, because Lydia called it her room once, and then Grandma started calling it Lydia's room, and it's just kind of stuck, but it's not really Lydia's room. Although she is decorating it like it is her room, which I think is hilarious. And Grandma's letting her. So, I mean, whatever. I don't think Grandma really cares, as long as there's a bed for people to sleep in, and dressers and a closet and stuff like that for people to store their stuff in. So I got that room, like the main things put where they go. There's a few boxes of like decorations and things like that she's going to want to put out in that room, but that's all there is in that room. And then the smallest bedroom is the one she's using as a storage room, and that's the one that has the most amount of stuff in it right now. And we've got about a quarter of it we've went through so far. So we still have, 3/4 of that room to go through of figuring out what goes where, and whether or not it's keep or yard sale, or it needs to go to one of my husband's cousins or one of his brothers or one of his aunts or uncles, or wherever all this stuff needs to go to. So I've been religiously doing that for days on end, days and days on end, going down there and helping her. Because she's a very sentimental person, so a lot of this stuff is stuff that means a lot to her, even though I would look at it and think, why do you want to keep that? And she has a hard time getting rid of this stuff, so I'm not going to like force her to do it, but I will kind of ask her questions like, where are you putting it? Tell me where you're going to put it. And if she says, I don't know, I said, if you can't tell me where you're going to put it, you don't need it. Okay, how many things of this person's do you already have? Is it significant to also keep this piece? And, like things like that. And she's been really willing when she'll look at me and like, yeah, you're right. Like, what am I holding on to this for? Or, you're right. I really don't have anywhere to put this. So she'll put it in the yard sale pile, or want it to go to somebody else who maybe doesn't have something that that person has passed or whatever, and doesn't have that sentimental object or whatever. I've also been helping Grandma Joanne spring clean. I've got her kitchen and mudroom to do, and I am done up there at her house. And then I need to start doing my own house. And I'm dreading it because I just keep having back-to-back migraines. Also with Grandma Joanne, she called me at like 3 o'clock, maybe about 3:30 or so in the middle of the night. And we had to take her over to the ER. She's fine now. It's kind of a crazy thing if you think about it. Like you don't realize, like, I'm a very emotional person. So I'm very attached to people. So for me, like, I don't know how else to describe it besides, like, things don't mean much to me, but I enjoy the company of other people. Like, that's what I like the most about different people and stuff. And, like, I never thought I was one of those people that were capable of switching off that emotional part of the brain and just becoming, spewing out information, collecting information, digesting the information, and trying to make all the right decisions and everything else, and include everybody that I can in the decisions and stuff like that. So, like, she called me and she was like, I'm not feeling good. I need to go to the ER. Can you take me to the ER? And I said, absolutely, Grandma Joanne. I'll be right there. And, I mean, I was in pajamas. I didn't even brush my hair. I think I forgot my glasses. I mean, whatever the heck was, I don't even think it was clean clothes. Whatever was on my floor at that point in time, I think I ended up with, like, my husband's shirt on, and it was inside out and backwards. Like, I didn't even, process much of anything besides, like, I've got to get over there to her because she didn't sound good on the phone, and I got over there and she was just really weak, and I had to help her get in the car, and, I brought a wheelchair out for her and pushed her in, wheelchair into the hospital and stuff, because I was like, yeah, she kind of fought me about that a little bit, and I was like, no, you're struggling with walking, you have osteoporosis, let's not fall, and then, be stuck in the hospital. They wanted to admit her to the hospital. She refused. So I've kind of been up her butt and annoying her a little bit because she's like, I'm not a frail old lady, even though she'll be 79 next month. But I mean, she's not a frail old lady. She's not. But she also needs to try and remember that she has limitations and that it's okay to have limitations. But I kind of was a little forceful with her and made her get in the wheelchair, and then I pushed her around the hospital because I didn't want her to fall, and she admitted that I was right. But they wanted to admit her, and she didn't want to go because of her little dog Nip, and I was like, don't worry about Nip. Like, I'll bring Nip home with me. He's fine. Like, we're his other family. Like, on Fridays when we go there, he'll literally start barking and driving her nuts a half hour. He knows what time we get there. A half hour before we get there, he starts barking. And he does not stop until we go and walk through the door. So he knows when we're going to be there. So, like, he's bonded with us too. It's not like he's going to some strange place or something. Do I have anything else written down here? Oh, my husband started a new job today. Lydia's birthday was his last day at his old job, and he started his new job today. The only thing that stinks is he works from 3 to 1:30 in the morning now. Or 3 to 1:30 in the morning. I said it right. So that is that. Today's the first day, so we will see how this goes. It's just going to be really weird because I'm so used to him being home in the evening and helping me with children and stuff, and like dealing with doctor's appointments and things like that. And now like I will have to take, like, Abby has a bunch of physical therapy appointments and we'll have to deal with that. And then I'll also on the 30th of April, tomorrow will be our last day for insurance, and it'll be 30 days before the new insurance comes. So that'll be fun. Because Abigail has physical therapy like crazy, plus pre-surgery appointments for her eye. My kids were supposed to next Friday, supposed to have their cleanings done for the dentist. I got to call and cancel that because they can just, a month or two is not going to kill them to not have their teeth cleaned. It'll be fine. Instead of forking out money for that bill. I don't think Damon has to go back down for his ear doctor until June. Like, I will have to look, and I pray to God he doesn't. Because not only do we have to drive 3 freaking hours away for this appointment, to then on top of that probably have to fork out $400 or $500 for the visit. I was just like, do you have to change jobs right now? You couldn't have waited until, like, I don't know, August? When there's not so many, kids having surgeries and stuff coming up. But, whatever, floats his boats, makes him happy. As for my migraines and stuff, I think I mentioned earlier that I've been 6 days without migraine. There were 7 days this month where they were so bad, I couldn't even get out of bed. I was wrapped up in a little wee tiny ball and just praying it would end. There were a couple days that I could take a bunch of Tylenol and ibuprofen and Sudafed and be somewhat able to function. And I say somewhat able to function because I'm, even with the migraine, like, my brain is so foggy and trying to think is like a really difficult task. And then the rest of the time, it was like, even with taking that, like, it wasn't as bad. Like I said, those seven, they weren't, thankfully, back-to-back days, those 7 days, but there were 7 days throughout the month where it was just brutal torture of just praying that it'll end. Just whatever, not me, but the migraine would just stop already. And then the rest of the days, there were days where, like, I could sit down here, but that's as far as I was going. Like, I was either sitting here in this chair or I was laying over there on the couch. And a lot of those days were like the days that I put like 60 some stitches in, because I would try and get my mind off them, because sometimes that works and it doesn't hurt as bad, but nothing was working. And that's how, like, my migraines went for this month. But I have been migraine. No, you know what? I'm not even going to mention it, because if I mention it, I'm going to jinx myself. And I would get off here and like 4 hours later and have one. And I'm just, nope. We're not going to mention the FREE word. I'm not going to jinx myself. But anyways, that's everything I have for you guys. I think I went over everything. Yeah, I think so. So, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.